Hey, yo, what's up? What's up? Holla at your boy, and welcome back to the Pastor Smell Good Fragrance Review channel. I'm so happy to have you with me for another review. We promise to have some fun, we promise to have some content, and just hopefully share with you some information that will truly help you on your fragrance journey. Today, I want to take a trip with you guys. I want us to transport down to Italy and take a trip to the house of Dolce and Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana is one of the more finer designers that are out there. We know that they have released some wonderful fragrances. One of my favorite classic designer scents of all time is that of Dolce and Gabbana's Pour Homme vintage formulation. Not the reformulated trash Dolce and Gabbana's pushing on the shelf, but still charging a pretty penny for it. No, the original, the 1994 formulation, that is, of Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme. I want to go in a different direction for this video because I want to review for you guys Dolce and Gabbana the 1 EDP right here. Look at that beautiful bottle. Just beautiful attention to detail. The bottle gets a little more cloudy as it continues to go down to the bottom. We have a very, very heavy cap here. So this is some quality stuff here. We have a beautiful sprayer here. Just look at that bottle. And it's thick, y'all. It's heavy. Dolce & Gabbana didn't pinch pennies for the presentation of this particular scent. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this thing. When we talk Dolce & Gabbana the 1, this is another flanker, should I say, because the original was not in the EDP, the Eau de Parfum concentration, but it was in the EDT, the Eau de Toilette concentration, which meant it's just more water-based. This one here has more concentrations of the essential oils. What I have to give Dolce & Gabbana some credit for with this was that between the EDT and the EDP, Dolce & Gabbana did not send the fragrances in two different directions. Many designers do that when they go from an EDT or an EDP or to an extreme or intense formulation of the fragrance. They sometimes go in different directions. But this retained the original scent. It just made it a little bit more denser, a little bit more heavy. And I like that. So hats off to Dolce & Gabbana on that. Let's get into the notes of this particular fragrance. When you deal with a fragrance such as Dolce & Gabbana the 1 EDP, it opens up with some grapefruit, with some coriander and some basil. And then by the time you get to the mid, you're going to get hit with some ginger. You're going to get some cardamom and you're going to get some orange blossom. Then down in the base, you're going to get some amber. You're going to get that tobacco. And if you know anything about me, I am a tobacco fan. So yes, we get some tobacco in there. And we also are going to get a healthy dose of Virginia cedar. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this fragrance and how it smells and develops on your skin. Just so that you can see how this fragrance sprays, I'm going to go ahead and hit myself on this palm just so that you guys can see how the sprayer works. 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe not. There we go. All right. So you saw that. Okay. So I gave myself a fresh blast just so that I can reminisce and remember how Dolce & Gabbana the 1 opens up. Okay. Now remember I shared with you guys, it opens up with grapefruit, right? Coriander and some basil. The grapefruit note will jump out and say, hey, I'm here. Notice me. That's what the grapefruit note does here in this scent. It's a very juicy, robust, zestful grapefruit. And I'm not talking about those grapefruits you buy out of the store that have come from all over God's creation. No, I'm talking about that homegrown grapefruit, baby. Listen, my father-in-law owns many citrus trees and he constantly ships fruit up here to me. And listen, when I cut one of those grapefruits open, I live in a 2-story house. Those grapefruits are so juicy and so zestful. You can smell them getting cut up upstairs. That's how this fragrance comes out with the grapefruit. But it does not just give you the citrusy component, guys, but you also will get the spice. Now, this is what's interesting about Dolce & Gabbana the 1. The spices are more so listed in the top and the bottom. I'm sorry, in the top and in the heart of the fragrance. But honestly, when I spray, I get all the spices at one time. I'm going to get the coriander. I'm going to get the basil. I'm going to get the, what's the other spice? I'm going to get the ginger, and I'm going to get the cardamom. They come out here and it's like a quick jab to the nose. Okay. That's what the spices do. So you have that lovely citrusy component of the grapefruit, but the spice, they put some attitude on that citrus. Okay. And that's what I really, really like here. So when I deal with the top and the bottom of Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP, I'm going to get the citrus. I'm going to get the spice. But watch what's going to happen. In about 20 minutes, I'm going to get those spices rounded out by a very beautiful, noticeable orange blossom note. The orange blossom puts a little bit of grace. It puts some, let's say for lack of better words, it puts some tact on the aggression of the spice. Okay? And that's what I love about the orange blossom. Orange blossom is an absolutely beautiful note used in perfumery. I enjoy orange blossom. And I really picked that orange blossom up. Oh, it's beautiful, y'all. But that lasts maybe about 20 minutes before I start getting into the base of the fragrance. And when I get into the base of the fragrance, the tobacco is going to really assert itself. But it's going to be smoothed out, okay? Because if you know anything about tobacco, tobacco can be a very, very dry, rigid note. But when I get the amber to come up, it's going to smoothen and sweeten that tobacco, and it's going to tame the spice too of the ginger and the cardamom, the coriander and the basil. And then you're going to get all of that served on top of a warm base of Virginia cedar. This is an absolutely beautiful scent, guys. Dolce & Gabbana, the one, is a fragrance that I do recommend to most men that I know is going to be a safe bet with them, because this is a fragrance where the modern man meets the old vintage man and they become one. Okay? Let me tell you what I mean by that, guys, because I want you to get a good understanding. Back in the day when fragrances were made, a lot of male fragrances contained a very dominant tobacco note, because that is a male note, okay, tobacco. Let me give you an example. The original Polo Green, that's a very heavy tobacco note, but that fragrance came out in 1978, if I remember correctly. So you can see how back in time, tobacco was just a very masculine, dominant note used in male perfumery. And I may even go so as far as to say that maybe some fragrances like the original Azzaro Pour Homme, don't hold me to that one, which also came out in the late 70s. I think that fragrance also carried a recognizable tobacco note. So that's why I say this particular fragrance here, it takes the modern man of today, meets him up with the vintage man of yesterday, and puts the two together. Okay? Because this is what I love about how the tobacco note is being used now. Tobacco is being more tamed and it's being sweetened up in fragrances of today. And I really think that's why I enjoy tobacco so much, because the modern perfumers, they're still using the dominant note of tobacco, guys, but they are infusing the tobacco with honey. They're infusing the tobacco with amber. And even in some cases, they're doing it like a pipe tobacco or even a cherry tobacco. So fragrances like Parfum de Marly Herod, fragrances like Man-Made 1821 Sweet Tobacco Spirits, fragrances like Thierry Mugler's Pure Havane, fragrances like Versace Dreamer. They're taking that dominant, historically prominent masculine tobacco note and they're modernizing it with other notes. And this is absolutely wonderful, guys. I suggest this. Every guy that has a collection, you need to get some Dolce & Gabbana the one. I suggest the EDP. Okay? So let's talk about the performance of this scent. Projection. Is Dolce & Gabbana the one gonna get up off you like we're coining on this channel? No, it's not. This fragrance here, in the words of Kevin Samuels, is a smooth operator, okay? He's not gonna run all over the building and tell everybody, hey, I'm here, recognize me. No, he's not gonna do that. This is a very subtle, moderate fragrance that is not gonna get up off you. It's just not gonna do it. But we don't need every scent to do that for us in our collection. All right, let's talk about the sillage. This fragrance does have a pretty good sillage. The fragrance does not leap off of your skin, guys, but when you pass by, people will pick you up. And the great thing about it is it's not offensive. It's not offensive. Let's talk about the longevity. How long does this EDP last? If you've got skin anything like me that's pretty moist, not dry, down here in Louisiana, I may get about 5 to 6 hours longevity on this scent, okay? If the humidity's not too bad. There have been days where it wasn't, and I've gotten 7 and 8, okay? So maybe if I had to round the humidity plus no humidity, I would say probably 6.5 hours, okay? 7 if it's a real good day, okay? Let's talk about also the compliment factor. All day, baby. All day, baby. Get you some Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP. Y'all come back and tell me in the comment section if you got complimented. All day long, baby. All day long. You can go anywhere and pull compliments with this. Okay? Listen, if people smell you and you don't have too much choking the fragrance out, you're going to get complimented on Dolce & Gabbana, the one. Okay? This is why I suggest you wear this when you have serious moments, when you're dressed nice, when you're dressed on the higher end of casual. Put on some Dolce & Gabbana, the one. You're going out on a date, Dolce & Gabbana's the one. You're going to stay in with your old lady, Dolce & Gabbana is the one, okay? This fragrance will do it for you. As it relates to the weather, I'm going to be honest. I would wear this spring. I would wear it on summer nights, and I would wear it in the fall. I would not wear this fragrance in the winter simply because it's not going to get up off you enough to cut through that cold. You have much better options for the severe cold, okay? I wouldn't wear this particular fragrance here, okay? So also, guys, the occasions, you can go to church in it. You can go to work in it. You can go run errands in it, dates, stuff like that. Dolce & Gabbana will do it for you guys. This takes the modern man, meets him up with the vintage man, and the two become one. All right, guys, this fragrance is pretty good. If I had to rate Dolce & Gabbana, the one, I would go ahead and give this fragrance 4 stars out of 5. Okay, I would give it 4 out of 5. Not even 4.5, but I would give it 4 out of 5, and that's pretty decent because that's that's shooting at 80%. You can deal with that. This fragrance is pretty good. When you purchase this, guys, most of you will probably go for the 100. I got a little bit of juice left up in there. You can see. All right, this is the 100 ml. But this is the 150 mil here. Go ahead and get you a 150 because I'm that confident you're going to really like this fragrance, guys. So go ahead and get you a 150 mil of that just so that you can see the difference in the size between the two. Okay. All right. One's just thicker, more dominant. It's like big brother and little brother. Okay. Go ahead and get this one, guys. I hope that was helpful for you. But if you want to smell like a modern man meets the vintage man, get you this tobacco amber scent. The resinous nature of the amber is noticeable, and it's absolutely beautiful. Till next time, guys, keep on smelling yourself. Keep on smelling good. Keep on reeling in those compliments, baby. I'll talk to you guys later.